the Reds and the Red Devils. Liverpool is plus 140, hosting Man United plus 180. The draw is plus 260. One of the great rivalries in sport. One thing I want to point out here is that Liverpool's results against, I guess I don't want to call it like a big six anymore because I'm going to kind of jump around Europe and include some other solid teams, some teams we know are good. This season, they're all over the place. Like they lost to United, they got thrashed the first time they played Napoli, draw with Brighton, lost to Arsenal. You know they've got the 1-0 win against City, a 2-0 win against Napoli. Whether you want to look into that one or not, go right ahead because of the circumstances. They beat City, they beat Tottenham, lost to Brentford, lost to Brighton, and got trounced by Madrid, but they beat United. So Newcastle United. So when they play these good teams, you just don't. It's anybody's guess. And United's been so good, and they've been flying offensively that I think this Liverpool defense is probably going to get picked apart here, and this could be another back and forth. I think it could play out similar to the Real Madrid match, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool comes out, crowds behind them, and they get out to an early lead, and then United comes back. But I like the price on United. Liverpool's plus 140 at home, United 180. It's pretty close to a pick 'em when you look at it. And I think that's relatively fair, but I'll still take the price here on the Red Devils, who they're rolling still. Congrats on the League Cup title. Newcastle's trophy drought extends for another season, it looks like. Anthony, what do you think?
I mean, it feels like the squarest play in the world to bet the over, right? It's too easy. Liverpool's defense sucks. Their attack is still really good. It sets up really well for the United defense.
It's a headliner game. This is
to let them have the ball and then just destroy them in transition, like we just saw Real Madrid do. Liverpool with a solid 2-0 win today against Wolves, but they gave up over one expected goal. Wolves had multiple big chances to score in that match, and final score was a little flattering to the Reds in general, but still created over 2.5 XG. Liverpool's attack is still very, very good. And Darwin's been, betting in nicely and finally, finishing some chances, although he had another goal ruled off today for some BS. Liverpool at home against Everton put up over 2 expected goals. They went to Newcastle, put up over 2 XG. I know there was a red card, but most of their chances came before too. So this attack is good enough to try to outscore United, and I think that's the best way to go at this. I think this United attack is still running so good with their finishing, but it just in this matchup, I can't bet against United here with a pick 'em. 2 weeks ago, I bet Liverpool at home against Real Madrid in the Champions League at a very similar number. Didn't go well, but I think United's better than Real Madrid right now. Yeah. I'll say that. And given that, I can't really bet Liverpool at this number. So if it got to if Liverpool became an underdog, which it's actually trending toward United maybe being a favorite at Anfield, in which case I would get involved on the Reds. This is going to be a stay away from me. And BJ, you lost again, fading United.
Yeah. Okay.
Should have just joined me on the under. It was really sweat free. You just had to survive 3 1-on-1s in the final 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was it is very interesting. In that match, United basically set up the blueprint, like you said, Michael, to just sit back and counter Liverpool and cause a lot of problems, because Newcastle, who, like I mentioned previously, one of the best pressing teams in the Premier League, United allowed a field tilt of 65% control, and they allowed a field tilt of 65%. Newcastle controlled 61% possession, but United only had a 65% build-up completion percentage. And like I already mentioned, they just played the ball long, and they played right through Newcastle and created a couple chances. Now we're in a very similar situation where Real Madrid did the exact same thing. Real Madrid sat back in a 4-4-2. They were very compact. Obviously, Liverpool created a couple chances, but then they just had unbelievable guys going forward and countering and finishing at ridiculous rates. And the United offense, it's good. What do you want me to say? Yeah, it's good. The last 10 matches, they have created 20.1 expected goals and 14 big scoring chances out of the World Cup break. This is just a flat out one of the hottest offenses in the Premier League right now. And it's also a good lesson of like not overreacting to Liverpool's defense being good against both Crystal Palace and Wolves, who are two of the worst offenses in the Premier League. And, I keep saying it every week, but, for Liverpool, I mean, if Barcelona's counterpress couldn't stop Manchester United and they played right through them, what makes you think Liverpool's 4-4-3-3 is going to be able to do that? I mean, they just don't have the guys who are going to be able to counterpress United. So this is also funny because this is the repeat of it's very funny how, obviously in this sport, like media narratives change so quickly. Remember where we were last time these two teams faced off?
Yeah.
Liverpool was minus
Oh, yeah.
150 on the road at Old Trafford. I'm pretty sure we did a Twitter Spaces before the match, and I was saying how, oh my gosh, like how could Liverpool only be minus 150 on the road at United? Now we're talking about United being almost a favorite at Anfield. Like, it's insane. So I'm playing over 3 goals at plus 110. I do project 3.7 goals. I really, unless Liverpool is gonna not press, which I highly doubt they're gonna not do that, this United's gonna be able to just counter them to death. And like you mentioned, Anthony, I mean, Liverpool offense is still really, really, really good. They created close to 3 expected goals against Wolves today. So yeah, I'm on over 3 goals at plus 110. Yeah, it's probably the squarest play on the board, but you know what? I don't have a problem being a square.